Harley Quinn has gone from a Batman the Animated Series side character to one of DC's most popular characters in history, even occasionally outselling Batman or Superman. And while she's in the lead in movies, games, and an absolutely fantastic animated comedy series as well, Harley Quinn is a character whose attributes and relationships have evolved over their short 25-year history. Happy Pride Month, everybody, because this week we're talking about ditching toxic, abusive relationships for healthy, supportive ones. We're talking about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. I'm Dan Umpton, and this is the Doomcast. Since her introduction, Harley's legacy and character has been connected to the Joker, a woman who completed advanced psychiatry degrees to work at Arkham Asylum because of her own dysfunctional family falls in love with a charismatic, narcissistic psychopath that calls himself the Joker, in part due to her dependence learned earlier in life. She develops an alter ego and joins him in his life of crime. But even then, the Paul Dini-created, Bruce Timm-drawn, and Arlene Sorkin-voiced character had been destined for popularity and was brought back for multiple appearances. So in Batman the Animated Series, Harley did push back on that inherently toxic and abusive relationship. In Season 2, episode number 28, Harley leaves the Joker and joins up with Pamela Isley, Poison Ivy. Sure, committing crimes, yes, but as partners and friends. And the episode itself was something of a parody of the contemporary film Thelma and Louise, which had been released in 1991. And while it took until 1999 for Harley Quinn to enter mainstream comic book continuity in DC, Batman Harley Quinn #1, her relationship frequently and increasingly portrayed as violent, abusive, both physically and psychologically, continued with the Joker. But by 2013, original Harley creator Paul Dini transformed her paradigm, putting her on a team called Gotham City Sirens with Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley. At this point, Harley was already a force of nature in comics. Fans loved her and loved the book, and by 2018, Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti finally canonically confirmed a relationship between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. Since then, their portrayal as a couple has continued, even been the central conceit of the Harley Quinn animated show, frankly, a top 10 DC show, of which there are many if you haven't seen it. A departure from the other DC animated shows in which Harley Quinn had her origin, this is more of a comedy in the vein of Family Guy and South Park, less than The Simpsons, but focusing on Harley dealing with the Joker primarily as an abusive and malevolent ex. Fortunately, in the most recent comics, they've continued this trend, and even though the hammer and bat-wielding clown princess has transitioned more to an anti-hero than a villain, and has undergone a number of costume changes in recent years, Harley's popularity and the positive portrayal of her and Poison Ivy in a mutually beneficial and supportive relationship, even though it does involve crime, remains very popular with Harley Quinn fans. I'm not going to pretend that Poison Ivy is a perfect person for Harley at all. She's always been a principled eco-terrorist. But here's the thing. The popularity of a relatively new character with these kinds of historically lesbian undertones, overtones, shades, and highlights being so incredibly popular proves really clearly that Comicsgate isn't really a thing, right? Because fans, people that do buy comics and go to movies, have voted with their money. They want Harley Quinn. They want gay Harley Quinn, even. And it sells. Conspiracy isn't to shove gay stuff down your throat, as much as Comicsgaters so frequently put it. It sells. And as much as they may fantasize about gay shit being shoved down their throat, nobody is doing that non-consensually. It's there if you want it. There are comics for you too, if you need straight blonde dudes punching stuff. They're all over the place, and that's never going away. And that's what Pride is, in both fandom and in love, enjoying what you like. And it gives you life, letting other people do exactly the same. Cheers, and thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.